Hey, so the levels of being is a very common concept in most ideologies and religious sort of frameworks because it's very natural to see just on the very basic level human beings we walk around on the ground, we can look up at the sky and look down at the earth beneath us, and of the many systems that include this type of idea, I feel like shamanism does a very good way or does a very good job of really integrating this into something that can be directly experienced. Because in brief, they have the lower world, the middle world, and the upper world are kind of three different types of vision journeys that you can have. And compared to something like Christianity that has heaven and hell, and I guess like the current life, the shamanic version is way more grounded in actual experience, which takes away a lot of the extreme nature that heaven and hell has, because the upper world journey, it does it can have those sorts of like angelic beings, or people talk about like energy beings, various like cosmic things. But the lower world journey isn't sort of it's like it's the opposite of that, but not because it's bad. It's opposite because it's more of an earthly experience of like very like grounded, like animal spirits, feeling like feeling at one with like plants and the fungus and that sort of thing. And just seeing that I don't know, it's not so much that you try to have an upper world experience, is that you sort of let the experience that you need happen. And if it's a lower world experience, you get kind of like the wisdom of nature. And the upper world experience gives you more of the wisdom of, not God, because shamanism doesn't talk about God in that way. It's more the wisdom of, I don't know, your higher self, or your kind of like your spirit nature. Basically, just like the things that are disconnected from the earth, whereas the lower world is more connected to the earth. So, kind of getting that out of the way, you can see that the lower world and upper world are really kind of like equal parts of. I guess you can see like they're equal in relation to what you call the middle world, which is, at least by my understanding, kind of the human part of the experience. Whereas like most of the time I want to say we're having like a visionary experience moment to moment, which doesn't quite resonate all the time because we feel like we're having like a real physical experience. But from the perspective of just like kind of the world dream, you can say that I'm not going to bother getting too deep into that, but the idea that like the experience we're having right now is kind of like a middle world journey, but when you drop into the shamanic journey trance, the middle world journey you start to have is much more like the dreams that we have at night, where it's kind of like a, well, I don't know. I actually don't have a huge amount of direct experience with this part of it, but my understanding is that it's like kind of day to day life, maybe more like a vivid version of day to day life, but it it doesn't have like a great deal of like animal and earth spirits, and it doesn't have a lot of angels or that sort of thing. It's more just like maybe you're interacting with other people, but it carries, obviously in contrast to the day to day life that feels kind of mundane and it's just like going through the motions. The middle world journey is much more like deeply meaningful. Like you might, I don't know, meet like a dead loved one, or you might, meet somebody, you might talk to somebody who you see every day, but you never really get a chance to like talk to them like in a heart to heart way. And you sort of would have that interaction, and it would, at least, this is kind of like the idealized journey that you would have, but it would lead to some sort of catharsis or some sort of like deeper understanding of maybe a problem that you have, or like a connection that you haven't made. And so that way it's like it's kind of like the upper and middle, or upper and lower worlds have a lot of those archetypes going on, like the archetypes of animal spirits or angels, whereas the middle world is much more like just like what you normally see, but it still carries that type of lesson, that like richness that is really the characteristic of a proper vision journey. But hmm. But yeah, I think that that's about all I want to say about the kind of the character of each one. Hmm. But yeah, there's a lot that can be a lot of parallels that can be drawn between shamanism and the other topics I'm gonna talk about eventually. But I think I'll leave it at that for now. Hmm. Yeah. Still just starting out with this channel, so I am kind of feeling out what I want to include in these videos. I think just that sort of overview will be good for now. But I think over time, I'm struggling with the idea that I don't think these videos will be viewed in order necessarily, because I'm used to like kind of like writing a book and like having the first chapter talks about this, second chapter talks about this. But these videos are going to be somewhat independent, but they'll be kind of grouped by topic. Like this will be like the shamanism video, the first one. So I think I'll leave this as kind of a reference. Obviously, people can skip this part, but leave it as a reference that I'll say. I start talking about the worlds of shamanism in another video. I'll kind of uh, leave a link to this video so people can go and see more in depth about this. But in whatever future video, I just kind of mentioned it and yeah, kind of go on to whatever that topic will be. But um, but yeah, thanks for watching. I man, I need to make some sort of outro. But yeah, peace.